going on, everybody, man? Happy Tuesday, man. Welcome to the Nashville Caveman Show. I'm
What's
your
up?
host, Damo Unleash, and I got a very good friend of mine, man, the great Sky Black. Go ahead and plug in everything, and let's get this party started.
Hey, thank you again. Thanks to God for waking me up today, blessing me to see another week to do this great show with you. I appreciate it. You know, I'm always humbled every Tuesday and excited to do this show. Well, for those of y'all who don't know me, I'm Scott Black, music publisher, DJ, wrestler, all that good stuff. But right now, you know, if you see the websites at the bottom of the screen, the offtopradio.com. Every Tuesday, my radio show plays. If you need your music played, get at me at sky.black@gmail.com. And then if you need a place to stream your music, offtoprecords.net, I can put it on there too for your fans and stuff to come, you know, stream your music. And don't forget my podcast, CEO Cartel, which all I want is just a bunch of CEOs, chairmen, boss people to get together and network and talk about what we can do as powerful men and women, if you're a boss, to help society, to help people who don't know. Like today's show is about credit, right? So imagine most people with money, they probably have good personal credit and they probably have good business credit. Well, let's get together and teach those, like what they say, each one should teach one. Let's get together and teach those that don't know how to do it. And then we'll be able to uplift the people that want to get out here and do things that they have dreams of doing.
Man, no doubt, man. The reason why I wanted to talk credit because you know a lot more about credit than I do,
Woo.
especially business credit. And so, man, I know even myself, I'm going to learn a lot about credit today.
Well, you know, is credit is America's going to credit, right? The
Right.
dollar is devaluing. Uh, they don't even want to pay you in checks no more. They don't even want you carrying cash no more. That's why they created these plastic cards, these pay cards, your bank accounts, because then it's just ones and zeros on a computer screen. It's not enough money in banks for everybody to go cash their checks. I know you see on TV that they print a lot of money, but if everybody had a paycheck who had a job and went to go cash their checks, you would be out of luck. They don't carry that type of money no more. That's why they do direct deposits and they want you to swipe the cards.
And you know what I learned too? If you save up a lot of money, a lot of places they don't want to deal with, and we've learned that when my daughter saves up money,
Mm-hmm.
they don't want to deal with a lump sum of money, first and foremost. And when you have so much, the government come asking questions.
Amen.
When you put that in the bank account, they want to know where you got that money. I don't care if you were saving it for a good 4, 5, 10 years. They want to know first and foremost, which is really scary,
Yep.
right?
Yep. And that's coming from the Patriot Act and Homeland Security. They want to make sure you're not out here funding terrorism. They want to make sure you're not laundering money, you're not embezzling. You know, if a black person comes in and deposits 50, because anything over $10,000, your bank, a
Yeah,
physical bank, I don't know about these online banks, but your physical bank has to notify the IRS. So
yeah,
if you go deposit money, deposit 9,000 and less. You know what I'm saying? But anything 10,000 and $1 and more, they're going to contact the IRS. So the IRS is going to want to know, okay, well, let me look at his tax returns to make sure that over 10 years he could have saved up 50,000. Because if it don't match up, oh yeah, yeah.
yeah. It's
Mm-hmm.
coming.
They're
They
gonna freeze
hired all
it
these
until
IRS
they get it off.
agents, and they have already hired all these IRS. I think it was reported something like 87,000 new IRS agents to
Could you
go
imagine
around the
that?
audit.
87,000 new employees. Could you imagine that? First of all, how big is the IRS building? That's first off. And second, I have never seen nobody hire 87,000 people. Like, that's a lot of people.
Man, that is some scary stuff right there, man. And
Right.
if you got so much they want to know how much you got into your savings.
That's right.
You
They
know,
want to know if you're
and
living off the dividends of your stocks. I mean, they want to know everything, you know?
that
And that's what
it's
Homeland
some
Security
scary
job
stuff.
is. It's to find out what the American people are doing with their money is because, I mean, let's be realistic. There's a terrorist has two things in common. They have time and they have money. The
Right.
only important thing that they need other than money is time. Look at Osama bin Laden, right? He didn't pay a lot of folks. I mean, he had suicide people, you know what I'm saying? Suicide bombers, right? You can't pay a suicide bomber, right? So
Right.
so bin Laden will come to you and say, hey, if you go blow up this building, I'm gonna take care of your family. Well, you dead. You don't know if he took care of your family or not. So
Yeah.
the reason of economy and having people work because they feel like if you got too much time on your hands, you start thinking about too much. And that's what the government is all about. That's why the government will never shrink because they don't know how many people in America is starting to think like them people overseas. That's why you have all these folks overthrowing governments overseas because they're not working. They got too much time on their hand, and all they need is one benefactor, right, to come through with a little bit of money and resources, and then they're going to go and overthrow the government.
But, you know, that brings me to a question, right? Because, you know, since this whole ordeal between Israel and Palestine has taken place with the Gaza Strip, right. I've been seeing people over here protesting, talking about death to America. You know what I'm saying? And there was even a lady in Indiana, 34-year-old woman, that drove her car into what she thought was a Jewish school. I don't know if you've seen that scare.
No.
That story. And I'm like, so if the IRS is concerned with us funding terrorists, well, could they at least quit letting them come over into the country freely? Why are these people over here? I just want to go to Kroger's and just get my little, $100 one bag of groceries. Why do I got to walk past these people talking about death to America? Because I'm part of America too. So you mean death to me? What did I do?
Nothing. You're just a part of the system as they look at it. You know, that is a question where if we had to write a paper on it, you would have 150 theses on that question because then you're going into psychology, mental state of people, how they grew up, what caused them to be talking about some death of America, all this good stuff. You know, I don't know, but I do know that every day the government wakes up, the federal government, I don't care who's in office, Trump, Obama, you are the first priority. That's what the FBI is for. The CIA is to tell the government what's going on overseas. So they're like, hey, overseas, all these people are overthrowing the government because they're hungry. Well, once it gets back here, then you'll see on the news where the federal government is going to help fund states. It's going to fund EBT and it's going to fund food stamps because they know the old folks used to say a full baby is a content baby, right? You never see people that's full go storm the White House. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So they're going to make sure, one, they're never going to cut off food stamps because they know that's the number one thing that will cause 300 million Americans to go to Capitol Hill if you're starving folks. So that'll never happen. You see what I'm saying? Right. So then that's what brings on everybody else. Like you said, quit letting them into the country. Well, you got to think about it, Dave. If you was the president of the United States and there's a woman with 3 kids, because you have 3 kids, right? And she's starving and she's coming from another country. Her kids look like this lamp pole over here. You know what I'm saying? Do you turn them down because you think they're terrorists?
Shit, that ain't the question to ask me. You know what I'm saying?
Because what people are saying is if you was in that situation, right? So let's say America was one of these terrible countries where they're beheading people, right? And they come to you and say, Damo, I'm going to come and behead your wife, and your children. And you try to go into Canada, say, please help us, Canada. But Canada's like, man, we got so many terrorists coming in. We don't know. We want to help them. So it's a catch-22 like that. You know, if you're not in that situation, it's kind of hard to be like, man, we don't know.
Well, here's how I will flip. Here's how I will flip that question for everybody else. If your kids were starving and hungry, and they were homeless, would you go ahead and help somebody else's kids before your own?
Most people no.
Because that's basically
they're going to help their home first, yes.
And that's the issue with America, with our government. They are willing to help. We was talking about this last week. They have migrants that they bus to Chicago, and they're giving them $9,000 to get started for rent for 6 months, right? and they're giving them certificates to furbish their homes. I'm sorry, I can't remember, you know what I'm saying, America ever doing that. You know, and it wasn't just apartments. This was apartments and homes.
Gotcha. Did you see the thing about the mayor? The mayor is upset about it. Now he's talking about because y'all letting these people move in, the local government of Chicago is spending, and this is what he said, quoted, $40 million a month. $40 million a month. So he wants to go to the federal government and ask them for more money, right? So if the federal government says, yes, mayor of Chicago, I can't think of his name, we're going to fund y'all, right? Well, all these other cities that's getting immigrants, they got to fund them too. That's why I tell folks, that's why the government can't shrink, because if the government does something for one state or one city, it has to do for the rest. It's like a child. You can't just do for Tennessee and not do for Kentucky. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's the issue.
They bust a lot of migrants to New York because you know the New York mayor was also welcoming, and they was a sanctuary city. That's what they call them, sanctuary cities. Well, now they're getting, you know, flooded with immigrants, and I got a video. I got to tag you and show you into this video. But there's a video I have with nothing but migrants laid in the street. They're just laying there like, and I've never seen nothing like this.
Mm-hmm.
You can't even walk without stepping on one of them. That's how many immigrants they got laying in the street. And it's like they come here for a better life only to find themselves sleeping in if there's any streets you got, you know, you got to sleep in. New York ain't one of them. With them big old rats, you can go ahead and you can ride an Uber. They can turn them rats into Ubers and live.
And I get it, man. We're living in a world where we will never have a utopia, right? We will never have a utopia. You have to decide on what you want to do as a human being. So I understand what you're saying. Why is our federal government sending billions of dollars overseas to help them, right? And not taking those same billions and helping over here? That is a question that I really can't answer because everybody has a motive. The Republicans and the Democrats have a motive on why they're helping certain countries like South Korea, making sure that North Korea don't come down and take them over, and, you know, helping Iran and all these other people, helping these little small countries to make sure Russia doesn't. I don't know. I can't answer that, but I wish.
Here's a question I would love to ask a government official. Why is it that you take my money to help somebody else and I can't even get help with my own money? But name another country that taxes their citizens to help Americans.
I can't name it. I have no clue. I've never researched that. I've never
or any other country. Like, I would like to ask them what other country is taxing their citizens to help another country. It doesn't even have to be America. It could be anybody else.
Well, you know what? If most of the world is dependent on us, you're probably not going to get it, right?
But we broke. That's the thing. It would be like me, you know what I'm saying, depending on the homeless person.
Right.
Cause you ever had that family member that owe everybody?
Of course.
We that family member.
Well, then
that's America. America is so much debt.
Where are we getting the money and the resources from then? Because we show sending money to these people. We show doing it. It ain't stopped.
Could you imagine us being able to draw our own money and spend it? Because basically that's what they're doing. They're printing money that they really don't have. It's just I owe you. And they pay people in security, meaning that, you know what, you know, I know I owe you all this money, but here's a way I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna send all these innocent, you know, man, soldiers over here to protect your country.
Correct.
That's basically how I got all these soldiers. And I got these, you know, these tanks and these missiles. Right. We're gonna protect your country. That's all it is.
So that part I did research, right? So the American government will give a country $400 million or $4 billion, right? But when they send those soldiers, they pay Americans for them. They pay Americans for those tanks, and they pay Americans for those rifles and bullets. So some
Ain't
of that
that
money
something?
is kind of coming back. It's not like they giving it away. See, I had to learn that. So you give me money, and then I got to turn around and give it back to you for other sources. Well, hey, what did you give me the money for? Just give me the sources.
But the jacked up part of it all is
What's going
it
on,
ain't
Jack?
their money. It's our money.
It's our money, and so welcome to
Yeah.
socialism with a sprinkle of capitalism on top. So think of the cake as socialism, and think of the capitalism as the icing on the top, right? So,
Right.
so everybody loves football. So let's talk about that for a second, right? So at the point, the reason the New York Giants are the way they are is because when the NFL first started, you had your big teams, you had your little teams. So the big teams are like, this league is not going to grow if we keep beating the hell out of the little teams. So the
Right.
owner of the Giants said, well, let's take some of our money and give it to these smaller teams so they can get as big as us. And that way, at least that market pretends to have a chance to beat us. Well, that's what's going on. When they take our tax money, right? They take our money, and let's just say somebody in Idaho or somebody in Rhode Island needs the money. Instead of us coming to us, they just go to the federal government who's already taken the money. Because if they come to me and you, we might say no. But the federal government is like, well, fill out this application, do this, do that, and we'll give you the money that we have ciphered from the American taxpayers.
Man, that's something else.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. That's why Seattle, as big as they are now, all these little small market teams, is
Right.
because the bigger teams decided that, hey, we're going to pool our money together and then just divide it up so everybody will have an equal chance. And that's where your salary cap comes from.
They're trying to do that with the NBA and the WNBA.
Yeah, yeah.
Because the WNBA loses money. It don't actually make money.
That's correct.
And
But you know who doesn't have a salary cap?
who?
MLB.
Oh, yeah.
Steinbrenner, is that his name? Is he still alive? Is George Steinbrenner still alive? The owner of the Yankees? He's still alive.
That I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, but he was buying championships. I mean,
Right.
A-Rod was making more money than the New York Mets. A-Rod was making $200 million.
More than the whole New York Mets team. Ain't that
the Mets weren't even worth $200 million. And this one man was making more than that team. So they don't have a salary cap. So that man is out here, or his family is out here spending money like crazy. So you can compare that to the government, spending money like crazy.
Well, and they were smart because they knew that they can get that money back and fandom and merchandise. So many people had Yankee gear and the tickets were so high, and New York being in that market, that was actually a smart move.
Correct. Correct.
So yeah, man. But I wanted to ask you, man, how was your weekend, man? I wanted to ask how was your weekend and what you have going on.
Well, the weekend was good. Saturday I was in Illinois. Shout out to CAI, Robbie Knight and them. I went up there to manage them because there's a wrestling company up there called SPW. Shout out to Sam Crosby and all them up there. So for at least half the weekend, because y'all don't know, it's a 3-hour drive to Crossville, Illinois. And then you wrestle, and then there's a 3-hour drive home. But you get there, if the show starts at 7, we get there at 5, right? The show don't end till 12, so that means we don't go home till 3, 4 in the morning. Do you see what I'm saying? So that was basically my weekend right there.
Oh man!
But again,
one of these weekends,
you're a professional wrestler. You that's part of it. You have to love it all. Go ahead,
man. I have to one of these weekends travel, even if I gotta go in with you guys with the gas money. I have to one of these weekends go when y'all go. I am like my household, we are big wrestling fans.
Cool.
On Monday night and Friday night, when Raw and SmackDown, that's when we all get together and we sit down and we watch it. I'll tell you something that we watched this weekend. Crown Jewel.
Okay.
Crown Jewel came on the middle of Saturday. It was early, actually 12.
What's up, Johnny? Yeah, Crown Jewel was a good show. What's up, Johnny Demento? I'm sorry, people are talking to me. Go
Oh
ahead.
no, go ahead, holler at him,
No,
man.
no. Shouts out to Jasmine. Shouts out to my former tag team partner, former tag team champion, New Era Demon champion, Johnny Demento. But yeah, go ahead. What was you saying?
Man, congratulations, Johnny. But
And what was
yeah,
you saying
man,
about Crown Jewel?
man, and you actually turned me into a fan of, the circular, the local wrestling. Like
Yes.
when I went to that show, man, that experience, if you guys have not been to one of these shows in Tennessee, I
Mm-hmm.
advise you to go experience it. You know what
Yes.
I'm saying? It was nice to see not only kids, but adults have a
Right.
great time. And then you actually get to interact with the wrestlers also.
And that's the best
Photos,
one.
things you can't do a lot of the times if you go to a WWE or AEW event or stuff like that because it's so big that,
Right.
the wrestlers only have so much time to spend with so many people. But locally, when
Right.
you go to an event, you can get photos. I mean, man, the experience is real nice. So I advise you guys to go and see one of these events.
Amen. I got to give a shout out to the CEO of No Limit Pro, Mr. Mike Cobb. Hallelujah, holla back. Mike, did you get my message or I haven't messaged you yet? If you hadn't, don't worry about it. I will message you later if you didn't get it. But I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dave.
No, it's all
Interacting
good,
with
man.
folks over here off of Facebook.
And I even took a photo with you, Sky.
Yeah, and
And
I
that
enjoyed that.
belt,
Thank you.
you got me addicted. When I held that belt, I was like,
Yeah.
man, this
Yeah.
is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So the belt that I got over here, man, was courtesy of Sky. Was the reason why I ended up. I was like, man, I gotta get me a belt.
Well, you know what? The next time you come to a Top Rope show, bring it. You can bring your belt to the show.
Oh,
Yeah. Sit in the crowd, and I guarantee you'll have crowd members interacting with you because of your title. Yeah,
Yeah, it's Cleveland Browns, man.
Cleveland
By the way,
Browns.
we won this weekend. I know it's against a terrible Arizona team, but it was nice to get back on that winning track again.
Absolutely. And again, let's give a shout out to No Limit Pro. Their 3rd year anniversary will be Thanksgiving weekend. Let me tell you a little story. So last year on Thanksgiving weekend, I held 3 belts, and I was in Henry, Tennessee, not Henry, sorry, Paris, which was Henry County. The next day, I was supposed to go to No Limit Pro and wrestle for their 2nd anniversary, right? I ended up breaking my wrist. I don't know if y'all
I remember that.
Yeah. So I had to call Mike Cobb while I'm in the hospital and say, hey, I can't make it.
Oh, that sucks, man.
And it kind of sucked. So everybody, Tullahoma, Thanksgiving weekend, what is it, November 25th, Mike? I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong because I can't remember what day Thanksgiving is on. Y'all go down there and y'all support No Limit Pro. And I'll be back in just as soon as I can.
Man, so did they have to put a pin in it, or
yeah, they put some type of little brace. I got the thing in there. They put some type of brace on it, so at least that part won't break no more. So next time this break, it won't be there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, they took care of it. But she told me, she said, at your age and what you're doing, you at least need to wait a year to do it. And I was like, you know what? All this money I've just paid you, I will wait a year. So yeah. Thanksgiving weekend will technically be a year that I broke it. And then December the 6th, I had the surgery of last year.
And that's the thing too, man, because
it's November 26th, y'all. November 26th, Tullahoma, Tennessee. No Limit Pro. Be there. Go ahead, Damo.
Man, and you know what? When I broke my arm, I was probably 12, maybe. But I broke this part and this part. So I broke it in 2 places.
Wow.
And that was skating. And when you skating, boys, man, we was in the basement, went into a wall full speed. And you put your arms out, the brace your the impact, and I broke it in 2 places. And it's amazing.
Wow.
They didn't have to put any.
My dumb self, this is the 3rd time breaking this wrist. When I
Oh
was
my
younger,
God.
I broke it twice. I was the first time I was like 6 years old. I was outside, and you know how you have the little ramps where you used to put the rock and then put a ramp, and you would go up
Oh
and
yeah.
like stupid us. I broke it then, and then when I was in the 8th grade, I was playing dodgeball, and the guy threw the ball. I jumped, landed on the ball, hit a trash can, and broke it, and then I broke it again last year. So 3 times I have broken this same wrist.
Same wrist.
Same,
Wow.
yeah, I guess I'll never learn, right?
Well, you know what, man? That comes with the territory of being
Territory.
boys and men, man.
Ain't that the truth?
I got some injuries that, man, but dang, I didn't even know. I remember you was talking about that you had to get surgery on the wrist. What
Yes.
I didn't realize is that it was that long. I knew it was a while ago, but I didn't know it was almost a year ago.
Yep, in couple of weeks, it'll be a year. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I know that's your joy, man.
Huh?
I know that's your joy. It's
Man.
wrestling, man.
It I don't know. It's up and down because since I've gone, my goal this year was to help other people. You know, me being a manager, I would love to see other people get over. You know, because at the time that I relinquished my titles, I just retired and say, "Here, y'all take these belts and y'all do more than I ever could with them," right? Because at the time, I didn't know if I wanted to come back or not. But I've made that decision on whether I'm gonna come back or not. So I'm just thinking, as long as I've been gone, as long as I've been able to promote Top Rope, No Limit Pro, SMPW, if I can at least be there and be your manager, give you advice, promote whatever I need to do, at least I'm still a part of the business, you know?
Man, you know, speaking of, you know what's a real joy too? And I'm glad that you gave me the honor of doing that intro song as a musician. And I don't know why that's the question I wanted to ask you.
Okay.
Do a lot of musicians do intro music for a lot of the wrestlers, or do they just go and get their music elsewhere?
You know, me, I'm biased. I tell you, you should go find you an independent artist, pay them $100, $200, and let them do a custom music for you. You have a lot of wrestlers that buy custom gear. Why you don't want custom music? Do you understand what I'm saying? So a lot of them, if they're just breaking into the business, I understand you going on YouTube and finding a popular song. I got you. All you doing is making that person rich. Go get you a song that's yours that you can put up and sell on iTunes and stuff individually, sell at the shows. It's your personal theme music. And that's my advice. And yes, I do know work wrestlers and artists that do work together. Shouts out to Big Rob. Big Rob is one of the ones who does a lot of, you know, Big Rob. You might not know Big Rob.
Yeah, I know who Big Rob is.
But he's one of the ones who does a lot of them for some of the wrestlers. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because you know what, I wish I can go back and one day, even for my own catalog, the intro song I did for you. I wish we would have done that in studio, where it was much better quality. That was so fun to do, and it was unique, and it was the first time I've ever done that. And I don't do music anymore, but if I did, that's an area in which I would have done. I would have went and for the wrestlers, and I don't know if there's a few of them that's watching right now, but I'm telling you, the one thing I noticed about the WWE and their superstars, the biggest superstars have music that resonate with the crowd, even if it's like Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn don't really have he got music, but that, you know, that resonates with the crowd. Or let's take the champion, for example. You know, his song, man, he sit there and he sing it with the crowd for a good 30 seconds. So the music is just important as the wrestler. And I don't think a lot of independent wrestlers, man, really understand that.
And what I'm hoping that they do is get more than just one. I just threw a price of $200 out there. You can negotiate the price. But if I had $200, I would go to maybe one of the hardest artists, depending on your genre, and say, look, I need 3 songs. Because at this one, I might be a babyface. At this one, I might be a heel. I might change my character later on. You know, more than just one song for the rest of your life. Have 2, 3, maybe 4 that you can interchange, you know what I'm saying, when you're changing your character or changing promotions.
And an artist that's trying to get out there, they might not even charge a wrestler. Like
No,
me,
no, they might not either. You're right.
me, you know why I didn't? Because, for me, payment was people asking, well, who is that? Who did that?
Yeah.
So when I would do radio drops, when we would do radio drops, or when we would do, like the intro that I did for you, or whatever I did for anybody else, I wouldn't charge them because, man, the payment was the promotion. Them saying, oh yeah, man, Damo did this. Right. Oh man, can I meet him? You got any contact with him? Yeah, here's his number. I looked at that as payment. So don't be afraid if you're a wrestler out there to reach out to an artist that you like and ask them. I'm quite sure, man, that's a good look for them.
It really is. It really is. The more you can stand out, the better you can get over. So,
Yeah.
But again, I'm not against it because I used other people's music when I first broke in. So I ain't gonna be a hypocrite, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that's just my opinion. If you can do it that way.
I got it, man.
Once you get the money to start buying your own personalized gear, then invest some money in getting your own personalized music.
I got it, man. Well, my weekend, let me tell you.
Yeah, how was yours?
Whoa. See, y'all, let me tell y'all, first and foremost, if you get a job, do not get one of these jobs that work you 10, 12 hours, and it's such high pace that it don't allow you to eat. Because, man, before the show, me and Sky was having a discussion, and I was telling him, man, I got this new job. It was security. Wasn't a bad job, except, the hours was like 7 to 5, but you weren't able to finish all your work in those 10 hours. So most of the time you work over 2 hours, right? So it's really 7 to 7. And it was such high impact or such high pace that I wasn't able to eat. You didn't really have time to take, to go and eat, right? And man, I got sick like that. I don't care who you are, if you don't eat and you work half the day and then the other half the day you sleep and you're not eating, you're gonna get sick, man. Your body will attack itself. And so, I started this job by Thursday. By Saturday, I was sick as a dog. Sunday, I forced myself to get Wendy's. Now, y'all know I done lost a lot of weight, but being a former fat boy, I love fast food. I ain't gonna lie, I love fast food. But man, I got that Dave single. I got me some fries, and I got me one of them Fanta drinks. Now, if I don't finish no Wendy fries, something wrong. Something really off. I love some Wendy fries. And then I had the Dave single. Here's the thing about fast food. I told them no tomatoes, but guess what they put on my sandwich?
Tomatoes.
You know what I'm saying? So I ended up taking the tomato off, I almost finished the sandwich, but I got toward the end of it, and I was like, about to call Earl, about to throw this away. So most of the food that I ate, ended up throwing away, but it was good to finally have something sitting in my stomach. And then I just got Pedialyte and, you can't go wrong with Pedialyte. I got some Pedialyte. I'm going to incorporate this right now into my daily routine. Give me some Pedialyte. But I feel better, man, and grateful, man. Usually on Mondays, I give Sky the show top. Man, I slept all day yesterday, man. Feet hanging out, the dogs that curled up under me.
Hey, I'm just glad you're feeling better.
Man, me too. Me too, man. Because I'm going to tell y'all, man, in 4 days, I lost about 15 pounds. And that was a combination of not eating well. And when you're on the go, when your body, like I'm jumping in and out of the car, going and check, leasing offices and there's amenities, looking around, see if anybody, man, that's, trespassing or loitering. You on a run like that, you're going to burn carbs anyway. Right. But then when you're burning carbs that you're not really putting into your body, that's a whole nother level. And you know, I've been on this weight loss journey, but man, I ain't want to lose. I don't want to lose 15 pounds for 3 days. That ain't good. I don't care who you is.
I understand. Well, again, my friend, I'm glad you're feeling better. So we was able to do this show.
Man, we'll do it. We gonna go ahead and kick it off. Man, the topic of the day is the power of credit. This is something we probably should have did a couple weeks ago. Correct. I know credit has, you know, meeting you, Sky. You are the gentleman that I talked to a lot about credit. Right. That I knew it was important, but really didn't know the power of it until I started having conversations with you. And not only just having conversations with you, but watching you and watching how credit was turning your situations around. So you kind of, man, influenced me to get on that path and you know, kind of do the same thing. So I want you to talk about, you know, your journey of credit and how has it benefited you?
Well, I'm like everybody else. Anybody don't know me, I am from Nashville, Tennessee, South Nashville, Edge Hill. Do you hear me? We didn't talk about credit. We didn't talk about money, and we never talked about ownership. You come to Edge Hill in the 80s and the 90s, you see a bunch of folks standing outside drinking beer under the tree, smoking weed, chasing women, doing whatever. We never talked about these things. So when I was in my 20s at an early age, I was like everybody else. I was broke, poor credit, repossessions, I mean, all type of stuff. So when it comes to credit, I just have to break it down to people like this. So let's say I borrow money from Damo, right? And I don't pay Damo back. But then I try to go around and call his wife and say, hey, can I borrow $10? Damo has already told his wife, hey, don't let Sky borrow $10 because he's never paid me back. Well, that's what the three credit people are doing. You know, the credit bureaus. They're talking to each other. It's all a scam. They're talking to each other. When you have a repossession, when you ain't paying your medical bills, when you ain't paying this credit card on time, they're telling the other ones, hey, don't fool with him. That's why when you go to apply, you get denied. Well, then when you are a good steward, which means they're just still raping you because they charge you all this interest, hey, the crook A says, I didn't got so much interest off of Sky Black. Crook B, you should approve him so you can get this much interest off of him. So basically with credit, you're buying your credit. You can't go to the store with a credit card and buy some bubble gum and then 30 days later pay it off and say, hey, I got credit. That's not how it works. It's them scamming you over time to see if you can pay consistently over time. That's it. Now, if you pay it off, that's fine. But the best credit cards want you to pay them 3, 4, 5, 6 years down the line because you at 19, 22% interest. We're leaving the dollar. We're leaving all that stuff. If you have bad credit, you're not going to make it in America. I'm sorry. You have to get your credit up. You really do.
And you said something that spoke to my experience. When I before I left Ohio for Nashville, man, I ended up getting a 94 Lincoln. So there's a 94 Lincoln, but this was like 2000, year 2000. And it was a clean Lincoln, right? And I, you know, I was paying a lot for this dang Lincoln. And what a lot of people don't consider is not only are you paying a high note because it's the note and interest, but a lot of people don't consider you got to have full coverage insurance. So basically, my car note was higher than my rent. First and foremost. Second of all, I wasn't enjoying the vehicle as much as the people that was driving by looking at it. Because I was always at work trying to pay it off.
Correct.
And then when I did get off work, I was too tired to drive it around to show it off. So eventually I was just like, I don't see no value in this. So I went and, you know, got that tax refund and paid all of it off. And you know what they told me? They was like, this isn't going to help your credit. Now here it is. I paid on it for maybe about almost a year. Then I paid it off, but they didn't make any money off of it. So it didn't benefit them and it didn't benefit me because it didn't go on my credit report as I paid something off.
So what did you do? Was you like a tocha note? Buy here, pay here?
I went to one of them buy here, pay
Yeah,
here.
yeah, they
JB
don't.
Buy. I think it was no, it wasn't JB Buy Riders.
Oh,
It was
they
a
terrible.
yeah, it wasn't them, but it was another company. It was a car company in Barberton, Ohio.
Right.
You know, and they sold me this vehicle because you know the Lincolns have airbags.
Right.
So the airbags, I hadn't even had it, but over a year, the airbags was multiple airbags was going out. I was young and dumb. I didn't know the difference. I didn't know what when they was talking about airbags, you know, man, what they were
Mm-hmm.
talking about.
Right.
You know, and so they sold me this car that had issues that I didn't know about, but it was
Mm-hmm.
clean. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? And I ended up paying it off, but it didn't show up on my credit record as
No.
he paid the vehicle off.
No. Nowadays, most of them do it. Back then, when me and you was coming up, now if you went to a buy here, pay here, or what we call tote your notes, that's what it was for. You could pay on the car, and if you got tired of paying on that car, you could park it and leave it, and it would never go on your credit report because they never really checked your credit no way. Your job was your credit.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep. And one thing, you know, I know with me, when I turn 18, and they do this to a lot of 18-year-olds, because you know, you're right. We don't talk about credit in the household. But
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? One thing that we don't talk about credit, but the parents, they use that credit against you. Because I can't tell you how many parents go and take an electric bill or
That's
a
right.
water bill or
That's
cable
right. Put it
bill
in your name, right?
and put it in
Mm-hmm.
your name.
Your
And
Social
then,
Security.
man, you get 18 and they like, you applied for something, and they be like, do you know you owe about, man, $1,800 on this cable bill? But I ain't never had cable.
Thank
And here
you.
it is, your mama and daddy done put your name on the cable bill.
So you behind the 8 ball when as soon as you get out of high school. That's crazy. That is crazy. And but you know what? I won't even blame them because if that's all they knew, if that's the hustle that they parents taught them, then that's all they knew. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So sometimes I try not to fault past generations because that's all you know. That's all you know. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But yeah, but a lot of kids are behind the 8 ball when you do that. You know, but the one thing I took from them is own nothing but control everything. That's what I try to teach people, right? So in my companies, I don't tell them I own anything. I work for these companies. They don't need to know I own them. I work for them, right? So you get everything you can out of your personal name, put it into a business. Because what's going to happen is when people see that you got houses and cars, they can Google you. If they got your social security number, they can find out. And when they find out that you are worth more than what you look like, that's when you start getting lawsuits and people coming after you.
And that happens a lot.
Right. But if you put it in an LLC, right, and have a registered agent, they can't find you. They can't find you at all. So they don't know if you own the business, if you work for the business, hell, if you live down the street from the business, they don't know none of that stuff.
Let me ask you a question, Sky. If you purchase a home, can you go back and put that under the LLC?
No. What you need to do is do it when you first purchase it. Like now, I can't do that. That's hard because all the paperwork is done. The mortgage people, you know, has whatever it says on there. But for anybody that's going to buy a home, and when you're at the table, when you're at there, because there's going to be 3 people. There's going to be the lender. There's going to be the damn, I forgot what the hell it's called.
The realtor.
No, not the well. They might be there too, but it's gonna be the lender, the title company. Excuse me, it's gonna be the lender, the title company, and somebody like me that's a notary, that's a loan signing agent, and we're all gonna be at the table. And you need to have that piece of paper there that says, "Look, I'm buying this home, but I'm gonna put it in a land trust. I'm gonna put the land trust in a LLC, and then the LLC will be up under the corporation. So that way, it's still your home, but your business bought you that home." So when people are looking up who lives there, it's going to say Land Trust 1119 because that's what you put on the title and the deed. But there's an addendum that says you are the beneficiary, and then there's another addendum that says your LLC, if something happens to you, is the beneficiary. So if somebody comes over your house and falls and tries to sue, you and your house is protected by your LLC.
Man, you know what? I'm glad you told me that. Because you know what? When my daughters and them get to looking, I think I'm going to have them do that. So basically, you're saying to set up the LLC and
Yes.
then set up a trust fund.
Yeah. Well, it's different type of trust. What you want to set up is what they call a land trust.
Land
Which means
trust.
you're protecting the home. Now there's another trust. You can set up a family trust. Where you put all your assets into a trust. But you want to set up a land trust for anonymity, for people who don't need to know that you live there. You know, when they're looking up the names and stuff like that.
So we get a lot of them calls. I get a lot of calls, and I was wondering. I'm like, how do all these people? They get your number.
Yep.
They get your name. They get all information, and we've been getting them calls for the last since we purchased our home. We get them calls frequently. People wanting to buy.
Yes. So when I would drop some gems to your daughter or whatever, the first thing, and I should have done this, but I didn't know. I'm still blessed to have a home. The Habitat helped me, but this is what she should do. Because, you know, Fannie Mae in November has changed the rules now. She can get her a multi-unit home, a duplex, a triplex, a fourplex, right? For 3% down. 3% down. Do you hear me? So a $300,000 duplex, triplex, or fourplex is 3% down. All she has to do is live in one of them for 1 year and rent out the other three. So let's say her mortgage is $2,000 a month. Well, if you rent out the other three at $2,000 a month, that's $6,000 while you live in the other one, right? Right. Then after a year, you come out of that one and charge a renter in that one. Now there's 4, right? Right. Do it again. Do it one more time. Go, because you can do it as many times as you want to. Go get another Fannie Mae loan, right? Right. Move it to another fourplex, right? So now you got these 4 that's paying rent. You got the 3 on the new one that's paying rent, right? Right. Year 2, move out of that one. Then you got 4 people. You got $4,000 coming out of this fourplex, $4,000 coming out of this fourplex, and then you use that money to go buy your dream home. And your renters will be paying for your home, your cars, your vacations, everything. Man, and it's hard to find. That's one thing I've been looking for in Tennessee, in this area, is duplexes. And it's hard to find them here. But I think it's even good to even find one, even if you got to fix it up. Yep. Because in the long run, it'll pay off. It will pay off. It will absolutely. And if I'd have known that, that's kind of what I would have done. But I didn't. I had no clue. So that's why I dropped these gems to everybody else. Because, you know, everybody always talk about being rich and wealthy, which is fine. But to me, the richest person in the world is that 18-year-old child that's walking out of high school because they have no debts. They have no kids. They're not married. They have no car note. Yep. That's why credit cards go after them. They got, even if they're working at McDonald's, they have so much discretionary money because what bills are they paying? Right. And you know what? And it's vital that we use that to our advantage and teach our kids. I give you an example. Right. My oldest got out. That's what we had her do. We had her get a credit card. Right. And I said, you know what? For 5 years, use your credit card to buy everything, but just pay your credit card off. Because in 5 years, by that time, you'll be, 22, 23 years old. Mm-hmm. Now your credit score is really high. You have a history of credit. Correct. And, that's the time you want to use your credit. You want to use the credit card to buy small things. Yes. But once you get to that age, you want to, here's this thing of good credit and bad credit. Right. Once you hit 23, 24, you don't want to use credit to buy frivolous stuff. Right. You want to use your credit to buy the homes like we're talking about. Correct. Because now it's about the credit score. Correct. And I think what a lot of young people don't understand, because they get in the habit of spending money that they don't have. Mm-hmm. What y'all don't understand is now when y'all go get an apartment, guess what they're looking at? Credit. Your credit. Mm-hmm. It's going to be in a minute where you can end up homeless because you don't have good credit. Right. So imagine that making $27 an hour and you homeless because you have bad credit. Because you got bad credit. But they're not looking at that $27 an hour. Jobs are also looking at your credit. Because the credit tells them, are you disciplined or not? Right. There you go. That's what they want to know. Because if you're making $27 a day, that don't mean you're going to make it tomorrow. Right. You can quit your job tomorrow. I can get in the apartment. You give me the key, and tomorrow I quit. So you're right. That's what the credit tells them. That it absolutely does.
They want to know: are you disciplined? Are you money disciplined?
Well, the funny part is back in the day, you know what else people wanted to use to know if you were disciplined? Your education. Going to college did not mean anything about paper and this and that. When you went to college, it just meant you was disciplined. You could do 4 years, and people like, yeah, you come on, but now they don't even use that anymore. They use credit now.
It almost meant that you were dedicated, that you can dedicate yourself to something.
You can dedicate yourself to something. So college or military just meant that you were disciplined and dedicated. And that's what people were looking for back then.
Right. And
I really wasn't a big thing about credit.
And I tell young people this all the time. If I could do it all over again, you know what I would have done?
What's that?
I would have went to the military.
Mm-hmm.
Because, man, the benefits, people say there's no benefit of the military. It's not none if you're not disciplined. But if you're one of them people that you understand that, first of all, you get a college education at no cost.
Right.
And it helps you with getting, when you go to buy a house or anything like that.
Yep. VA
man, there's so many benefits of that. And while you in there, if you're disciplined enough to save your money, don't go and try to create no family while you're in the military.
Right.
Wait till you get out. Save your money. Let your money just stack up. Then when you get out, you got money saved.
Correct.
You get the best interest rates in the country, and you get a free education.
Yes.
You winning.
You winning. You're right.
And while you in there, you can learn a trade.
Mm-hmm. And then when you're done, if you just want to keep, let's just say, working in the military, because for civilians, if you stay at a job for 30 years, you can retire.
Right.
And get a pension. Well, it might have changed. You can retire and get a pension, right?
Right.
And the military is only 20 years. So you do 20 years in the military, you can retire and get a pension. Not your Social Security. Don't get it twisted. Retire and get a pension from the military. Most jobs, if you're there for 30 years at that same job, you can retire and get a pension. But if you do military, it's 20 years. What's up, Amy? How are you doing? Sean said to me and you, we need to get together and have another powwow. But, thank you. How are you doing? I'm sorry, Damon. People just...
No, you're good, brother. You're good.
I mean, good job. But you're right about that. There's a lot of benefits to military, but a lot of them, they get... they watch the TV and all you see is a bunch of military people. I'm homeless. The government don't do nothing for me. Well, we don't know their backstory. So I don't even get into that. But most people that come out of the military, because again, I'm a notary. I'm a loan signing agent. I'm one of the people at the table to say sign here, sign there, initial here, initial there. They love these VA loans. They love them. Yeah. They in nice houses. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yep, I got a brother.
And you get shipped overseas, like in Germany, you still get paid, but the military takes care of your home, your soap, your drawers. So let's say you're getting $3,000 a month, you're not spending it on nothing. Right. It's just sitting there.
And this goes for whether you're in the military or not. If you're smart, you can do the same thing if you don't go to the military. Right. We were talking about this before. If you stay home till you're 20, like most young people want to leave the house soon as possible. I advise to stay home till you're about 24 or 25. Now, most people think that's crazy, but if you save money from 18 to 25, imagine the position you'll be in, as opposed to when you get out here at 18 and you start moving real fast and you're building and you got a family. But now, man, you're paying so much money, it's hard for young people to really keep up nowadays. Look at the housing market. Look at the interest rates. A lot of you guys need to look at the interest rates. The worse your credit is, the higher the interest rate you're going to be paying.
Correct.
So you can buy a vehicle and be paying almost double the amount as somebody who got great credit.
That's right.
I advise for you guys to stay home for about at least 5 years at the minimum, right? Yeah. Build your credit, save your money, then get out here and try to build.
And again, we do this show being transparent. I didn't leave my mom's house until I was 30. At 25, I filed bankruptcy. Too busy out here chasing these women that wasn't talking about nothing. Absolutely nothing. At 25, I was by myself. I had $800 left to my name because I got it from an income tax. I'm sitting here, and across the table is the lawyer. We filed in Chapter 7. Do you hear me? I had to give him I think it was 500 for Chapter 7 and 300 for his part. That was all my money right there. I said, God, from here on out, I'm changing my life. So for the next 5 years, from 25 to 30, I did everything you just said. So yeah, he's correct. 5 years will get you back where you need to be. Yeah, I had a credit score when I filed Chapter 7. I had a credit score of 0 at the point in time. They wouldn't finance shoestrings. I couldn't go get shoestrings financed.
I didn't even know that was possible.
Well, at that time when you filed Chapter 7, because it clears everything. Yeah. Chapter 13, you pay on it. But back then when you cleared, it went to 0 for a minute. Now it probably doesn't, but back then it did. I had a FICO score just terrible. And so one of these places on Charlotte, it was called World Finance or whatever, one of them crooked ass places, loaned me $192. And let me tell you what I did with the $192. I put it up in an account, and every time the bill came, I just paid them back out of the $192 they gave me.
Smart.
And that boosted up my score. Started boosting up my score.
Mm-hmm. Man, let me tell you what happened to me. When I was 18, like you said, them credit card companies start throwing credit cards your way. Right. So let me tell you what my dumb butt did. I went and got a jewelry credit card with like $1,500 on it. And imagine what I did when they gave me that card.
You were blinged out, huh?
Man, that fake jewelry. You know that middle of the mall, them little jewelry booths in the middle of the mall? Yep. Man, I went there and got every kind of piece of jewelry I could get. I was maxed out within a day.
Woo!
You know, I'm maxed out 1,500. You know, and they do that. And I wish I had somebody to tell me the mistakes that I made sure that I learned my lessons, and when my kids came along, with them I did different. I said, hey, use this card to build your credit. But then when you get your credit up, now my daughter has a higher credit score than I had. And I got a high credit score. So me having her save money when time comes for her to buy land, because after my conversation with you, I think it is better to buy the land than the house. You own the land, the house will come. They give you the loan for the house.
Oh, yeah.
So I think it'd be better, man, if I just told them that, look, not just buy one piece of land, but buy little pockets of land. And then sell them off higher than what you got them for. Somebody gonna want them bad enough to give you more than what you paid for. So buy land and be a landowner. And if you own the land, if I was right, didn't you tell me that if you own the land, somebody builds on it, even though they own the property, you still own the land?
Yeah, you still own the land. Oh, yeah. So you don't have to sell it. You can lease the land. Somebody wants to build a house on your land, they have to pay you monthly. Not only do they have to pay the mortgage people that they bought the house, they got to pay you, and then you take that money and you pay your taxes every year or whatever. But you'll make enough to where you can pay your taxes and have a profit.
Yeah. So I think that's what, the move that, with my children, that we're going to discuss. Because now my middle child, I got her saving money.
Yeah.
I got both of them saving money. And I'm just like, you know what? I hope that I can convince them to work together, because I always believe power in numbers. Especially some of y'all out here, man, y'all got about 80 kids. Y'all teach y'all kids to go ahead and work together, man. Could y'all imagine how much they can accomplish? And I think Sky made a great point. If you get a duplex, maybe one child have this half of the duplex, the other child have this half of the duplex, and then they pay it off together. And then as they get married, then they can move off, and then they can rent out whatever half they was in and have a steady income coming in on top of their, what they're making from their job and what their spouse is making.
That's absolutely correct. That's how a lot of people are living. Most of your millionaires own land, or they own real estate, or they own property.
Foreigners do it. Yeah. Think about it. We make fun of foreigners for 10 people getting one house or two houses. You know what I'm saying? But they own it. And they always got a safety net to go back to, and they can go out and branch off and build. Hispanics do it all the time. I love the fact that I watch Hispanics work together. I think it is brilliant. Right. Not only do they work together and build, with jobs and stuff, but with credit,
That's right. That's right. And so this is what we do on Tuesdays. Each one should teach one. And we're just talking about personal credit. If you want to start a business and learn about business credit, that could be another topic. But business people like Capital One, American Express, Shell, all these companies are not going to loan you nothing business-wise if you're personal. Because when I first started building business credit, I had to be the PG. I had to be the co-signer for my businesses, whether they were sole proprietorships or LLCs. I had to be the co-signer, which means they went into my personal credit, right? For the first time, approved me. But now if I need more, I'm good. They don't have to go back into my personal credit anymore. Now they just go off my business credit. You have to have like a paydex score of 80, and I think I have that. So now they just go off of that. So,
Man, you know what, Sky? That is, I got this journey. I got this weight loss journey. But that's going to be my next goal. Because I'm trying to get to the point where I take care of one goal at a time. That's going to be my next goal is an 800 credit score.
What first goal, like you said, is health, right? We all should be eating healthy. I mean, if you don't want to go to Planet Fitness, you ain't got to go Planet Fitness. But, walk 1,200 steps, because if you're dead, none of this matters, right? If you got it, none of this matters, right?
You got it. And
that's goal number one.
And the crazy part? Because remember, I was going to Planet Fitness 3-4 times a week.
Right.
I haven't been in Planet Fitness in about a month, and I still knocked off 25 pounds.
Right. A guy who, I'm sorry, go ahead.
And I was going to say, I've done it. I want to get a secret to everybody that's watching. I think it's worthy that you guys have it. If you drink a gallon of water or over a gallon of water, me sometimes, on the most part, I'm a gallon and a half. Every time, you'll pee a lot, but every time you use the restroom, all those, everything that's impure in your body, you're releasing it. And you're just replacing it with water. So I've done it. I haven't been exercising. Some people be like, I got to lose weight. So I got to work like this, or I got to eat like this. Even no matter what you eat, if you flushing it out with water, you'll lose weight. And not only that, but drinking a lot of water kicks up your metabolism. So in February, when I went to the doctor, I was 280. Last week, I think it was 3 days ago, I weighed in at 207. So I've been between right now 207, 211. You'll do that drinking water. I promise y'all. Do it every day. Yes, you're going to use the bathroom like hell, but I promise you, it'll work out. You'll lose the weight.
You was asking because a friend of mine named Zach, he's a personal trainer, right? He told me at the beginning of the year that the best, like I said, drink water. And all summer here in Lebanon is a park called Don Fox Park. And I do my 1,200 steps there. 12,000 steps. You will lose more weight just walking. Because if you research, right, when you exercise, your body breaks down calories. And once it breaks down calories, it breaks down fat. When you just walk, your body releases a different chemical that just burns fat. Do you hear me? Walking, there's 4 types of full body. There's walking, jogging, running, swimming. Those 3, the jogging, the swimming, and the running, puts pressure on your joints and back and stuff. If you just walk, I'm telling you, I'm not telling you what what I've seen. If you just walk, man, the weight loss will just fall off. And that's what he was telling me. He was like, man, just walk. You ain't got to go to the gym. Just walk.
And I'm going to tell you, I'm a secret. I have a security job. So most of the time, not this last job where I was up walking a lot, but prior to that, I had a job where I sat in a vehicle. And so every time you move, what most people don't understand, you lose calories moving around.
Yeah.
Every time your heart pump, you burning calories, right?
Right.
So if you cut down, like with me, I cut down 1 meal. So I have 2 meals a day. I have snacks in between. But if you drink that water, you knock it off, man.
You're absolutely
And,
correct.
and Scott, you said it best. Health is wealth. It don't matter. People be like they chasing the bag, but if that bag, what is that bag if you get to it and you fall out dead?
I know. Hello, Miss Donna. How are you doing? Shouts out again to Top Rope. Top Rope Wrestling this Saturday, November 11th, 945 East Bador Parkway in the fairgrounds in Building Q, right, Miss Donna? Building Q in the back. Top Rope Wrestling tonight. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I hate cutting you off when you start.
No, good.
Yeah, go ahead. But Top Rope, y'all will see me there. Top Rope this Saturday, November 11th. But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. You know what, Sky? Make sure I'm glad you plug in. Anybody that come on and got something they want to plug in, feel free to cut me off. This is all I want to help people promote whatever event they have. So feel free, man. It is no disrespect, man. I'm glad that you are plugging people in. So shout out to Donna, man. Nice to meet you, Donna.
Yes. Yeah. Anytime y'all need us to plug a show or something, just let us know. We good to go. But like you were saying, yeah, you said that people talking about chasing the bag. You have to chase your health first, because you can have millionaires and billionaires on their deathbed. Your money ain't for to save you. It ain't for to do nothing for you.
And it don't have no value if you're on your deathbed.
It sure don't. It really does not. It doesn't. Get good night's sleep. Drink your water. And for those who hate going to the gym, just walk your neighborhood for a minute. Sightsee.
Right. Get a dog.
Dog. Oh yeah, that'll do it too. Yeah.
That'll force you to walk. Hell, I got two of them. My one is a puppy. She still got that puppy energy. Mm-hmm. Man, shoot. I was playing with him yesterday, and
yeah, it's like taking care of a child with just 4 legs. Yep.
And in my case, 8.
Yeah, man, you take care of your body, take care of your mind.
Right.
You take care of your emotions, take care of yourself spiritually, and to me, the money will come when you do that. I'm always a believer. I never believed in tithing. I'm not trying to go to another subject, but I just never believed in it. I believed in seed, time, and harvest. Every time I plant a good seed, over time, here comes a harvest, right? So even when you exercise or when you take care of your mental, emotional, you're planting good seeds. And over time, you will see the harvest of it,
And not only that, I know we're getting ready to end this, but I want to make this point. Most people's debt, since we're talking about credit, most people go in debt because of medical bills.
Because of medical, yes.
So if you take care of your health, like it was a guy telling me, man, he was like, man, I can't leave this job because I need the insurance. And it's right. We all need insurance. But man, you sitting here talking to me saying that with a cigarette in your hand. No, I'm not here. I'm not one here to judge. But I'm just going to tell you.
Right.
Most people's debt is medical. Yeah. Medical bills are medical bills are going to be higher than home bills. Than car notes, than credit card bills. Mm-hmm. So if you take care of your health and you take care of it to the point. Now, some things happen. Things happen in life. You can do all you can and still end up ill. But chances are better if you do take care of yourself and all you go in is for the routine checkup. If all you're going in is for the routine checkup, you're good.
Yeah.
You're good. Not just health-wise, but financially.
Right. It's like taking a car for an oil change. You do your oil change every 5,000 miles, have the mechanic check everything. Your car will last long. Well, think of your body like a car. It sure will, And do the things that they ask you to do. I know a lot of men don't want to go get prostate exams at 50. They don't want to get the colonoscopies at 50. But sometimes you have to do those things so they can detect anything early in life. You know what I'm saying? Don't
And they
wait
did
until
my
you about to fall over
colonoscopy.
and then go to the hospital. Ain't nothing they can do for you.
And they did mine. They checked my colon, man, at 45.
Did it?
They doing them earlier now. And
God.
fellas, let me tell y'all this. It's not like you feel like it's not what you guys think. I don't know how it was back in the 80s and 90s, but you won't even know you went through it. They put you to sleep, you wake up, and you feel like nothing ever happened.
Gotcha.
So don't be afraid of it. You won't even know. It's not like somebody taking a big old log and sticking it up your butt.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Don't all those all them stories y'all done heard and whatnot. You know, man, don't believe it. It's totally different than what you think.
Right. And so just and even if you don't have health insurance, because when I broke my wrist, I didn't have health insurance and I ran up $10,000 in bills. The bills beat me home. Do you hear me? That's how fast they didn't play when it came time. They patched me together, but they didn't play when it came time to send me bills too. Go to health.gov. That's why I got mine at now. Since I'm a entrepreneur and an independent wrestler, I was able to get health care for cheap, really good health care for cheap and dental. So if you are a wrestler or if you drive, Lyft, doing that, whatever it is you do, go to health.gov and fill out that information between now and December. If you do it now, your coverage will start January 1st. If you wait till December, your coverage won't start to February 1st. So go do it.
I'm glad you
If you don't have insurance and you are an entrepreneur, I don't care if you do Shopify, whatever, go and get this credit. You'll be paying like $40, $50 a month for really good health insurance. So that way, if something happens when you go to the doctor, boom, there it is.
Man, I'm glad you told me. I needed that information.
Yeah.
I tell you, man, you know what I'm saying? You my go-to guy, brother.
Oh, yeah. Well, now since you tell me your situation, because I still thought you was, whatever you were saying. But now since you on a new journey, yeah, then get you some health care until you get back to your old journey. Yeah.
As soon as I get off.
Hey, yesterday that's what I was doing. I was doing my renewal. They hit me up and said, "Hey, you need to, do your renewal, so we'll make sure that we have the right coverage for you." Yeah,
because it is everything, man. Sky, I wanted to tell you, it's as always, it's a blessing to do this show with you. Thank all you guys for chiming in. If you got a business, Sky, I don't care if I'm a mid sentence. Go ahead and plug away any event or anything that anybody have going on. I wanted to let you guys know too. If y'all wanted us to run whatever event you got going on, I only charge $10 for 30 days. So if y'all wanted me to run it across, you see where this ticker is at? I already have Mike. Mike sells, he has a mattress store. And I advise you guys to go, if you need a mattress, 30 or 50 to 80% off retail pricing, brand new in the plastic, kings, queens, twins, full sets. Man, they do delivery. Make sure y'all reach out to Mike. The number is down below. If you guys have something that you would like to promote, an event, whatever it is, $10 or 30 days, you can't beat that. All you got to do is send the information to my email. My email is SoDrivenLLC.com. Okay. SoDrivenMediaLLC.com. Send me your information. You can Venmo me or Cash at me $10 at SoDriven LLC. And then, we go ahead and get you guys up here for 30 days. You can't beat it.
No.
And we would love to promote you.
That's absolutely correct. So now you have no issue. If you're starting a business, starting a company, and you need somebody to help you marketing or advertise, if you can't do $10 a month, then you don't need to be in business. Hell, the LLC is $300. You know what I'm saying? So you can't do $10, then you might as well just not even worry about it.
And I don't care how big I grow. You know what I'm saying? We gonna always keep, because that's important.
Right.
To have an avenue where people can promote whatever business or what they have going on.
That is absolutely correct. That is correct. I enjoy our Tuesdays. Again, y'all, any artist that is listening that needs radio play, www.offtopradio.com. Tuesday nights. Sometimes I might be live, sometimes I might not, but the show will go on. You need a place to stream your music. That's offtoprecords.net. I want to give a shout out again to Jasmine. I was hanging with her and her family in Illinois when I was up at SMPW. Shouts out to my brother from another mother, Johnny Demento. Shouts out to No Limit Pro. Hey, No Limit Pro, don't forget November 26th, Tullahoma, Tennessee, 3rd year anniversary. Don't miss it. Shouts out to Amy. Amy, me, you, and Sean. We got to get together again. Quit being a stranger. And shouts out to Miss Donna this Saturday. Top Rope, Wilson County Fairgrounds, 945 East Bedore Parkway. Great shows. Come.
Hey, y'all, and make sure every Tuesday at noon,
yes,
y'all can find me and Sky here, man. The Nashville Caveman Show. Man, it's been a blessing, man, to always do this show with him every week. We're going to keep it moving. Yeah. God bless y'all, man. Thank y'all for chiming in.
Hey, Damon, should we give a shout out to our former guest, Rob D? I hope he's having a good time. Kobe, hope wherever you at. Hey, blessings. And what was the other guy's name? Marcellus?
Yes, Marcellus.
Marcellus. Shouts out to Marcellus. Thank y'all for the times that y'all did come on here.
Most deaf, man. Till next week, we out.
Next week, y'all. Bye.